top, but it's like a topper for the top. You put it on top of the top, and you probably wouldn't wear it on its own. You know, it's almost exclusively a layering piece, but it's a cool thing to have around because you can throw it on top of, you know, basic tops and add a bit of intrigue. I have a lace one that I talk about a lot. It's like, you know, it's a little lace mock neck, super cropped, like cropped to right beneath the breast, sort of tank top. And it's completely sheer lace. It's gorgeous. I throw it on top of stuff, and it just is always a vibe. There's also, I've seen a lot of different sort of like either knit sort of bralette looking things or beaded sort of bralette looking things that can be really gorgeous to throw on top of tank tops or on top of a bralette or something to sort of, again, like add some texture. And you can't really wear those things by themselves. I mean, you could. Listen, don't let me stop you. But, you know, you can't go to work in that, right? You can't go to school in that. So, and we're being realistic here. So it's a cool thing to throw on top of like a basic tank top. Also, if you find like cute bikini tops that could sort of double as like a topper, if you will, great. Like, I'm all about layering bras on top of tops, bikinis on top of tank tops. Like, that could be cool and interesting. It's definitely a bit on the trendier side of things, but I think it's fun. Like, it doesn't bother me. The reason why it doesn't bother me is because, here's my take. You're taking something like a bikini top, right? Or a bralette. Something that you can style in a trillion different ways. And you're putting it on top of your shirt, which then makes it a bit more trendy, yes. But you're going to be able to wear the bralette or the bikini top or the topper in a bunch of different other ways. So that's what makes it okay in my eyes, is that these are versatile pieces, you know? And maybe the way that you're styling it is a bit more trendy, but like, I'm more against trendy purchases because those are things that are going to end up in the donate bin a bit too soon. That's something that I advise against. Again, shop however you want. I don't care. But that is something that I advise against. However, styling things in a way that's trendy, I don't really see anything wrong with that. If you're taking two pieces that by themselves are versatile and maybe a bit more timeless, then you're putting them together in a more trendy way. Like, who cares? Because you can then style them in a new trendy way in a year down the line because they're versatile pieces. Another fun sort of topper layering option would be like wide mesh tops, okay? I would actually argue that this is a timeless material. It's definitely trendy right now, but I think it's something that'll always look good. Like a mesh tank top, like big wide mesh, or like big wide knit where you can like see directly through it, right? Almost like a basketball hoop, kind of, you know, like a basketball hoop has all the holes, like something like that. Cute, okay? Tank top, maybe a little dress. I mean, we're not talking about dresses right now, but like, I don't know. I think that is a timeless sort of look, and it's great for summer. Like, I used to have, I think I donated it, but because I cropped it too short. That was a huge mistake I made many years ago, was like cropping everything. Like, I'd buy something and crop it immediately, and now I'm so sad because, you know, I like grew out of that style. I didn't like cropped clothes anymore, and then I was like, well, I can't wear this stuff anymore. I don't like it anymore. But anyway, I had this gorgeous like maroon sort of tank top where the neck and the armholes were like thick. They were like thick sort of maroon, I don't know, band. There was like a thick band. But then the rest of the top was sort of like, almost looked like a knit basketball hoop. It had like big holes. I could layer it over bralettes, over bathing suits, over tank tops, over t-shirts, anything, and it would just add interesting dimension. Another interesting option would be vests. Now, I know what you're thinking. Emma, vests, like, that's hot, that's warm. No. The vest category is far more expansive than I think we give it credit for. There are so many different unique vest options. Like, I think we tend to just think of the sweater vest, but there are so many more vest options, okay? Like, you could get sort of, if you're somebody who likes maybe more of a Western sort of aesthetic, you could get like sort of a retro, like cool, sort of lightweight, Western-y sort of vest, you know, like that's maybe sort of cropped or whatever and has like a tie in the center. You could perhaps find like maybe a thin sort of knit vest that like buttons up in the center. You could find perhaps like a cottony sort of sweatshirty sort of zip up vest. Like, I don't know. There's so many different options that I don't even know where to begin. But don't write off the vest category. There are a lot of different interesting lightweight vest options and could be a summer vibe. And last but not least, I think having some cute bralettes and bras that you don't mind having exposed can be really nice to have. Like having bralettes that you think are cute, you know, where like if you're wearing a tank top and the tank top's kind of sheer and you can kind of see it through it, like you're cool with that. I actually personally haven't found any that I really like. I also tend to go braless as much as possible, even if I got a little nip going. I don't know. I have like some really simple like triangle bralettes that they're not like giving me boob support, but they're at least sort of
Interesting.
protecting the areola from other people's gaze. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I'm personally still on the hunt for like cute bras that I'm excited to have exposed. I haven't really looked that hard though either, just because I am such like a braless girl for the most part. But I think that can be a really great staple to have in your closet if you live in a really hot climate and you might want to, you know, have some bra showing. I briefly paused this episode to let you know that this episode is brought to you by eBay. We all have that piece. You know the one. The thing that's so you've basically become known for it. And if you don't have yours yet, you'll find it on eBay. Let me put you on, people. eBay is where you'll find those one-of-a-kind, can't stop researching, stay up dreaming about pieces again and again. I'm talking about that Miu Miu off the runway red leather bomber, that Custo Barcelona top with the cowboy on it, or that fleece in the 2017 colorway. All of these finds are on eBay. They even offer millions of main character pieces backed by authenticity guarantee. eBay is the place for pre-loved in vintage fashion. eBay, things people love. Now let's get back to the episode. All right, let's move on to bottoms. Some staple bottoms to have in your wardrobe. Starting with shorts. Obviously, denim shorts are a summer classic. Like, you can't go wrong with summer shorts, okay? I've been sort of on this journey recently of like rediscovering the denim short because for like 5 years I was wearing pretty much the same few pairs of denim shorts, and then I ended up donating majority of them because they were either too small or they were starting to rip in places where it was like, I don't know what to do about this, which in retrospect I probably could have fixed that, and that's a lesson I just learned right now. But anyways, I got rid of majority of my denim shorts to mainly make space for ones that like fit me better. I don't know, like I used to like tighter denim shorts that like really squeeze the booty, and as I've grown up and hopefully gotten a bit more of a booty, okay, probably not, but maybe a little bit, I'm looking for something that's a bit looser. I'm looking for something that fits me better now, right? Like I don't need a tight booty short like that for denim shorts. There's other shorts that I like to be little booty short, tight shorts, but denim, no, that's not what I like. So I got rid of everything, and I've been, over the last few months, sort of trying to find shorts that I like. And all of the denim shorts, I'm only shopping vintage. To me, there are so many amazing denim shorts out there already, vintage. I just, to me, I can't justify buying a new pair. And I also think that they look better. So my suggestion is go to the flea markets, go to the vintage stores, and try on a bunch of vintage denim shorts, okay? You're gonna get a natural looking wash that's timeless, which is what we should all be, you know, striving for. Actually, I'm not gonna tell you what you should be striving for. Strive for whatever the fuck you want. All right, if you want 90s acid wash, tight little booty shorts, don't let me get in the way. But I think my favorite type of denim shorts are any sort of, I don't know, just vintage, naturally worn in sort of shorts. And honestly, you can't go wrong with any length. That's the other thing that's cool. Like, go to the flea markets, go to the vintage shops, go to the thrift stores, and just try on a bunch of shorts and like let it find you, you know? Like I have some short shorts, like some shorter shorts, baggier shorty shorts, sort of. I have some longer ones that go down to the knee. Like I've been finding various different lengths, various different washes, and it's been fun. You know, it's been fun. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. It's taken months and months and months to find, because it's almost like finding a wedding dress. You know, it's like you got to wait, and it's almost like the shorts will find you. But that's my recommended method of finding denim shorts. Buy them secondhand and just let them find you in a way. And I don't even have a suggestion for length. Like, it's whatever you like. Like, I think you could go all the way down to the knee. That's cute. You could go short with your little booty hanging out. I don't care. All of it's cute. All of it's cute. I'm about all of it. Another great option is work pant cutoffs. Okay? Any work pant will do. Okay? Something more like a Dickie, something more like a Carhartt. It doesn't matter. You know, like a 50s style sort of work pant. Some of my favorite pants of all time. Anytime I find like a 50s, 60s male pair of work pants that was for a shorter man who was maybe 5'5", I am buying them. Okay? I love, it's my favorite type of pants of all time. I'm actually starting to see some brands like remake them, and it's exciting to me because they're kind of hard to find sometimes, and I just love that pant. Anyways, like a simple like chino, straight leg, kind of wide leg sort of, you know, pant. Love them long, but also love them as cutoffs. I have a pair of gray 50s work pant cutoffs that I just recently found that I'm obsessed with. I'm so excited to wear them. I also just took a pair of black canvas, like Dickie like pants that I got vintage or secondhand. I actually don't think they were vintage. They were just thrifted. I thrifted them. And they kind of fit weird. Like, whoever owned them before me got them tailored. And I didn't notice the weird sort of tailoring on them when I bought them. But as I wore them over and over again, I noticed that, like, they were tailored weird. So they kind of fit weird and had some weird creases. And so I cut them into super short shorts. Because the tailoring was fine, coochie up. But coochie down, like the legs were fitting kind of weird. So anyway, I turned them into shorts. Love little Dickie sort of cut off shorts. Cute. And what I like about work pant cutoff shorts is that they're a bit more interesting than denim shorts. Not that I think denim shorts are great, okay? But a work pant cutoff is a bit different. It's a bit more unusual. It's a bit less common, but equally as comfortable, equally as versatile, and yeah, love. Moving on to cotton/knit soft sort of shorts. Okay, imagine like a little pair of crocheted cute little shorts with like a little tie around the waist, or like a 50 style bikini bottom, board short bikini bottom that's like, you know, maybe a bright color like red or green with like a white waistband with like a little tie around the waist, or like a little pair of soft sort of boxer shorts, or like a pair of like soft sort of like florally little knit little, you get what I'm saying? Like little cute light cottony knit sort of little shorts. They can be tight, they can be loose, but they're always short shorts. That is the key characteristic, I would say. I mean, you can get longer ones too, cute, but that's not really what I'm talking about here, okay? I love little shorty shorts like this. I do. Ooh, another great example that I forgot to mention, like a little yoga short. Like a little fold over waistband yoga short. Okay, cute. I have a black pair, wear them all the time. Wear them all the time, they're great. I honestly think this is where you can really have fun with shorts. Like, this is where you find the statement short, right? Because the options are endless, right? With denim or like a work pant, it's for the most part neutrals, canvasy denim. It's very simple, right? This category of shorts, fun. The party, I mean, it's just a party with this type of shorts, okay? You can get striped ones, you can get polka dot ones, you can get ones with a contrasting waistband or a little tie, you can get ones that are tight and like lift the booty up, you can get ones that are loose and flowy. Like, the options are endless. I don't even know where to begin. I think the only piece of advice I can give you when searching for shorts like this is ones that, number one, show an amount of booty that you're comfortable with. Like, if you buy shorts that where your butthole's out a little bit too much, you're showing a little bit too much hole, you're not going to want to wear those. If you love showing hole and that's what you're comfortable with, okay, great. Then now you bought little booty shorts where you're showing hole and now you're happy. It's about finding how much hole you want to show. Okay. Also, a material that's comfortable. All right. Like, you don't want, listen, sometimes these cute little knit cottony shorts are tight. That's fine. That can actually be comfortable. But you want to make sure that the material is breathable enough for you, that the material doesn't chafe. It's not like a sort of rough material that might chafe. I actually had this gorgeous, oh my God, I'm actually kind of heartbroken that I donated these. I donated them when I did like my huge closet clean out like a while ago now, but I regret, this is like one of the only things I regret donating. I've posted these shorts online, so you might have seen them before. They were like a gorgeous pair of red sort of board shorts. They had a white waistband, a little tie around the waist, white rings around the leg holes. They were red. They were so gorgeous. But the material, they were really vintage. And the material back then was very thick and very rough. And oh my God, they were so gorgeous. I regret donating them. I honestly, like, I love those shorts so much. I shouldn't have donated them. But I hope that somebody out there is wearing them and loving them. That's the only thing that allows me to sleep at night about those shorts. I feel fucking sick that I donated them. I shouldn't have. I don't regret almost anything else that I donated. But those shorts, huge mistake. Like, huge. I actually can't think about it anymore. We have to change the subject. But the reason why I donated those was because the material was so thick, it was a bit uncomfortable. To be honest, they weren't super breathable. They weren't super, I don't know. Yeah, like it just, they chafed a bit, and that's why I got rid of them. But I regret it every day. I also got rid of a pair of like, sort of cottony, puffy, sort of like boxer-looking shorts because they look terrible on the butt. That's another thing to be careful of. You know, you see all these girls, myself included, on Instagram in these cute little boxer-looking shorts. They're not always the most flattering. So be mindful. Turn around in the mirror and look at your butt before you buy a cute little pair of, like, cottony, boxery shorts. Moving on to activewear shorts. Very trendy, especially in the last few years. Like, I can't tell you how many little athletic little shorts I've seen with, like, a little moto boot or, like, a little ballet flat. I mean, that was all the rage the last few years. But I think you can't go wrong with that type of short. I mean, I particularly love like a vintage pair, and there are so many vintage pairs of like little athletic shorts that have like little stripes on the side, you know, the whole thing. In a classic color like navy or red or green. It's just cute. You know, you can't go wrong. But there's actually good ones that aren't vintage as well. Like you can get new pairs that are cute and probably are in a more breathable material, to be honest. A lot of the vintage little athletic shorts are not breathable at all. And that's my only issue with them. But if you size up a size or two, you'll be fine. You know, because the wind will pass through, you know, because it's a bit. But if you want something maybe
Good PR. The heck? Why did it stop?
if you want something maybe a bit tighter and athletic, probably maybe a newer pair that's a bit more breathable. But anywho, last but not
Well,
least in the short category, longer, dressier shorts slash capris. Okay, I'm putting this all into one category. For less hot days or, you know, fancier evenings, these are a go-to and so underrated.
Someone seems to be messing with the stream. I wouldn't be surprised if they're messing with more than that. Looks like they were messing with my account, too. Did you notice how it said progress couldn't be saved? Because Rockstar was unavailable, and yet I'm still playing. Suspicious. I'm gonna go ahead and guess they thought that I couldn't play without her. That I couldn't play this game without Emma Chamberlain. People have really become very stupid these days. Emma Chamberlain is like the cheerleader. She's the cheerleader and she gets me hyped to play the game, but it's not that I can't play it without her. That's a crazy notion. Oh, I can't play sports without my cheerleader? No, I play sports. The cheerleader just makes me more excited to play sports.
Okay, like you could do like a boxy
Thought
sort
so.
of long dress pant style short.
I
like
thought so.
Something that's almost in like a dress pant material that has sort of that boxy,
I thought of these
pleated sort of dress pant vibe, but it's in a
whoa.
short. So chic. I have a pair of black ones that I absolutely love, wear all the time. They're, definitely more of a masculine silhouette, super boxy, but I think so chic and so cool. And paired with like, maybe a more dainty top or like a more sort of, not dainty necessarily, but like maybe a more simple, perhaps revealing sort of top can be a really nice juxtaposition. Or like a straight leg sort of capri like short. Okay, I have a pair of cream ones that I mean, I can't really tell if they're a capri or a short because they like just hit the knee, and they're a bit less boxy than the last pair that I described, more of a straight leg, but not skin tight. These are definitely a bit more feminine than the first one I described, but yeah, equally as awesome. Sort of like, I don't know, the straight leg, I think, can look very elegant and have like the perfect balance of masculine and feminine sort of silhouette going at once. But another option would be like a tight, almost legging-like sort of capri slash, I guess at that point it's not really short, it's more of a capri. But yeah, like you could also go biker short length, but any sort of like legging-like tight, short, or capri in some sort of more dressier sort of material. I think chic. Some people are really against the biker short length. In fact, I was for a long time. But I've actually been proven wrong. I've seen it work. I've seen it work quite a few times. So I'm not against it anymore. The thing I love about this category specifically is that they look really interesting and intriguing, even if they're in like a simple color, like black or cream or gray. Just because the longer short capri sort of silhouette is in itself maybe less common, not something you see as much. You see more skirts and dresses out there. You don't see a long short as often, so it's unique in itself, but also they can look really cool with a pattern, perhaps a polka dot, perhaps a stripe, perhaps a plaid, perhaps a gingham or something. Wait, gingham?
Perhaps.
I think I like gingham. Do I like gingham? I do like gingham. I actually do. Okay, so gingham. I had to Google gingham because I was like, I think I know what that is. It's like super small checkerboard-ish sort of plaid. Anyway, just in case you forgot what gingham was like I did, which is kind of scaring me that I forgot what that is. Anyway, but yeah, like the opportunities are endless. Moving on to skirts, okay? I think my favorite summer skirt category would be the long, flowy, lightweight skirt, okay? And I actually didn't own any prior to recently. Like, when I did my big closet clean out, I got rid of any sort of lightweight skirt that I had. And so I was sort of like, this summer rolled around and I was like, wait a minute. all of my skirts are super thick. Like, I have a lot of cute skirts, but they're so thick that I can't wear them during the summer. I'm suffocating. So I've been sort of on the hunt for lightweight, longer skirts, and I found one. I'm trying to remember if I found any more. No, I think I just found one that I'm really happy with. I'm like, this is good. I'll just wear this skirt all summer. It's like a silky, sort of thin, minty green sort of skirt that at the top has like, it almost looks like it has little boxer shorts coming out the top that are light brown gingham with little buttons. Super sweet, super timeless. I wore it to Coachella. Cute. And I wore it to Coachella and it stood the test, okay? I was not hot. In that skirt at all. It was so breathable, but it was long. And I liked that it was long because I was like, sometimes you don't want to show legs. Sometimes you're not in the mood. And I think it can look really beautiful and elegant and timeless to wear like a thin, long skirt during the summer. But the main differentiating factor with these long skirts versus like just any long skirt is that the thin material's key, right? Because otherwise it is like a greenhouse for your butthole. If you're wearing like a thick, long skirt during the summer, it's not comfortable. It is literally like a greenhouse. It's just heat under there. You lift up the skirt and it's like a fucking like plume of hot air will hit anyone walking by if you lift that fucking skirt. It's just gross. So I had never really thought about it before, but yeah, I think it's not excessive actually to have some thick skirts and some thinner, lighter skirts in your wardrobe, because when it comes to the category of longer skirts, seasonally, the thickness makes a huge difference. Whereas like with a mini skirt, which we'll talk about next, it's less of a big deal because it's such a small amount of material. It's like, who cares? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? But for anything knee length and longer, which I would consider a longer skirt, right? Knee length and longer, even though, I mean, it's technically like a midi skirt, but I think anything longer than a mini skirt to me is a long skirt, which might be kind of wrong thinking, but anyway. And I think when it comes to skirts, like these long skirts, it can be really fun to sort of pick some beautiful materials, right? Like my skirt is silky, which is really a beautiful material, or really light sort of plaid sort of fabric, like knit sort of plaid.
You're a plaid sort of fabric.
Thin knit fabric.
Actually,
spit it out, Emma. Maybe a really beautiful linen. I don't know, like even experiment with different patterns. Like I think a lot of times a long skirt can be sort of a statement in a way because it is such a large piece of fabric. It really, when somebody's looking at your outfit, it takes up so much space that I think, you know, it can be fun to have that be sort of more of a statement, perhaps with a pattern of sorts, any sort of pattern that you like. But moving on to mini skirts, to be honest, I don't even know how to give direction on a mini skirt. Like, I don't even know what to say about a mini skirt. There are just so many options, and like, my only thing is, I actually don't find mini skirts to be the most comfortable, which is why I don't have very many in my wardrobe. I just find that like, a lot of times I don't feel like I can move in them. Like I'm scared of lifting a leg because my undies might be out, you know, like I don't feel like I can move in them. And that is an issue I have with them. However, comfortable ones do exist. I have a few in my closet. I have two really cute little knit sort of little skirts that are like kind of pleated, have a little waistband tie. They're sweet. They're cute. They're comfortable. I love them. I don't wear them very often for some reason, but they are in my closet. I think when it comes to mini skirts, just find one that's comfortable and that you're going to wear for years to come, okay? Nothing too trendy, and then that's my only advice. And last but not least, sheer skirts, okay? That can be worn as a bikini cover-up or layered over other skirts or pants for added dimension. I've seen some really cute, like, long sheer lace skirts that people have, you know, put over cute little shorts or over their bikini. I've seen really gorgeous, like, sort of mesh, like, wide knit mesh sort of long skirts that are cute as a cover-up or over little shorts or even over pants. It can be a really cool layering opportunity. Moving on to long pants. Okay, there are almost no long pants that I suggest for summer. During the summer, I'm sorry, I don't want to wear pants. There's almost no scenario where pants make sense, especially during the day. Like, I see pictures of people wearing like long knit, sort of like yoga pant almost looking pants, but they're not yoga pants because they're like knit and they're more beachy looking. And I'm like, ooh, that to me looks sweaty, you know? The longest I'm going during the summer usually is either a really long skirt that's getting air circulated through it every few seconds because it's so breathable, or like a capri. Anything longer than that, I'm like, no thanks. Even at night. However, there are 2 types of pants that I will wear during the summer. Actually 3. Okay, I've been debating including the 3rd, but I'll include it. All right, number 1, light cotton or linen pants, almost like PJs. These are very trendy right now. Usually they'll come in like a white linen or like a light blue linen, or, you know, some sort of classic pajama pattern like stripes or plaid or whatever, usually in pastels, whites, creams, blues, maybe even yellows, or maybe a little green or a little brown or something, but pretty pastel, pretty preppy looking, cute, comfy, breathable. I've been trying to find a pair of this type of pants that are perfect for me for a long time, that aren't too sheer, but also aren't too thick, that also are flattering at all angles. It's tough. It's a tough one to find. However, it's definitely possible. I haven't found my own personal pair, but I've seen other people in their personal pair, and I've considered even buying them off of them, being like, can I just have those? Because I've been looking for a long time, and I haven't found them, and you have. So, like, how much can I pay you for those fucking pants? God damn it. But that's a great option because they're breathable.
Frog Gambit.
And lightweight and summery looking. Okay, that's a great option. For nighttime, a really loose, thin dress pant. I'm talking really thin. All right, dress pants a lot of times can be thick. I'm not talking about thick. There is a certain category of dress pants that are thin. They're still structured, but thin. I have like 2 pairs, I think. One like navy with white pinstripes and one just plain black pair. And they're thin enough that I actually can wear them during the summer. But I'm not really gravitating towards those during the summer usually. I'm honestly usually gravitating towards a capri, towards a short, towards a long skirt. But there are times when you want to wear a pant, and a thin dress pant can work. My last category would be like a worn, loose pair of vintage jeans, okay? With like maybe some distressing going on. California surfer vibe, loose jeans, honestly cute. With like a flip-flop, honestly love. With like a leathery flip-flop, like a brown leathery flip-flop, cute.
These drops are only
Cute.
accessible by
But
seaplane.
I don't know, like a lot of
Box
times
loaded
if I'm
up,
gonna wear a
ready to go
jean,
when
I'd
you
rather
are.
just wear a jean short during the summer. So that's why I was hesitant to include it, but I do think that a loose jean can be a great summer option for the evening time, perhaps. Maybe for a bonfire or something. But
And then
pants
after
are
the
usually
evening,
every day.
we will return to the
Let's move
auditing.
on to dresses. Okay, I'm not a dress girl, notoriously. Like everyone knows, I'm not a dress girl, unless I'm going to an event. Then I will wear a dress because that is the dress code. And for events like that, I actually love wearing like a gown. You know, I love wearing a gown. It's interesting. Like I love wearing a gown. I actually feel myself in a gown. In a dress, like a casual dress, it never feels right for me.
DRESS.
And I never feel like it's flattering. But I also think it's just because I don't know, I'm not like looking hard enough. So it's hard for me to give you advice on dresses because I don't wear them very much casually.
Spelling.
But I will say, right, like I can't tell you what to look for, but I can tell you what not to look for. I can tell you what
Education
to avoid.
is magic.
I would say avoid corseted dresses, overly structured dresses, dresses that are going to suffocate you. Okay? A lot of beautiful dresses out there have structure going on.
The
They
more
have
you
boning,
know,
they have,
the closer the
you know, whatever.
CIA gets.
That's great for like spring and fall, maybe even winter, because the weather allows, you know? And I actually don't hate a corset. I kind of like the way it like keeps my back up. I'm standing up straight, you know, I'm perky, I'm ready. But during the summer, not a vibe. Not a vibe. You might think it'll look cute at brunch. I don't care. Find something else. Uncomfortable. Too hot. Another thing to avoid, lots of material, really poofy. There are some beautiful gowns out there that have some volume going. And I think that can be great, again, for like fall, winter maybe. Maybe spring, if you live somewhere where spring is a bit crispier out, you know, like it could work. Summer, I just think you don't want a lot of material. You don't. But another silhouette I would say to avoid would be anything really tight, like a bodycon sort of dress. During the summer, I'm not. I mean,
Is it?
could be.
But it's
cute,
only been
it
30
could
minutes.
work, but no, I don't know.
Mom,
I
this is
just
the
don't really like
worst
that style of
possible
dressing. Like,
timing.
I find it so unflattering. I like have never felt cute in a bodycon dress. If you love it, rock it. Okay, don't let me yuck your yum, right? But I think for the most part, that silhouette, number one, reminds me of like the TV show Jersey Shore, which, by the way, one of my favorite shows. Actually, not one of my favorites, but it's a great show.
How do
But
I
just
go
don't.
offline?
I don't know. I don't like the. I don't think it's flattering. I don't think it's comfortable. I think it's like constricting and like. I just don't like a bodycon. But that's more of an opinion. If you love it and it's comfortable for you for the summer, don't let me stop you. Moving on to shoes. Okay, I was anti flip flop for a long time.
Dua Lipa's on TV. I gotta go. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up so I can quit the game and go watch the TV. Or pause it at least. Come on.